Go. Good day, everyone. I am Danie Asio, a third-year student in the University of Southern Mindanao, Cabacan campus. So today, I will going to present to you my research study entitled Probing the Early Teaching Experiences of Newly Hired Physical Education Teachers, Implication for Curriculum Enhancement. With the demand for the new basic education system, in the Philippines, school divisions employ many physical education teachers each year to teach relevant courses in the K-12 curriculum. As the result of present educational developments in the Philippines, newly recruited teachers face numerous challenges, including a lack of administrative support, limited teaching resources, a lack of professional development, and difficulty dealing with behavioral problems in the classroom. However, because of these difficulties they have faced in their work and specific set of circumstances, they have a tendency to withdraw their ideals during certain points in their lives. Hence, this research is conducted to investigate the lived experiences of newly hired physical education teachers as a baseline for curriculum enhancement. So this research is a qualitative design with a phenomenological research approach in through in-depth interview. So as you can see in my picture, here is my documentation on how I gathered my data. So the materials that I use in gathering my data is camera and through voice recorder. Verbatim transcription. So here's the documentation on how I um, gathered my verbatim transcription. To examine the transcribed data, data reduction, data visualization, and conclusion, formulation, and verification. Result and discussion. So table 1, themes and core ideas of the experiences they like the most as a newly hired physical education teacher. So the first major themes that I formulated is newly hired teachers face a favorable challenge as a result of the new normal learning. So the teacher must find way to teach their students even we are experiencing the pandemic. So the teacher was excited to the new way of learning, which is the new mode of teaching. Using of online platforms for teaching the students in the new mode of learning. Second theme, more interactive teaching learning process. So teaching and sharing some knowledge to their students. Experience in their first year of being a newly hired physical education teacher. Third theme, holistic physical education activities for the development of well-rounded learners. Teaching on how to develop and enhance their full potential as a students, enhancing the abilities and capabilities of the students. Table 2, themes and core ideas on the problems and challenges that the newly hired physical education teachers experiencing. First major themes is difficulties in dealing with attitudes of students and senior colleagues. So newly hired teachers' problem is getting along with their co-teacher. The teacher must need to build the trust to his or her colleagues and to their students. Newly hired teachers also problem in trusting others and building the trust to the students. Second, inadequate facilities and equipment for students learning in the new normal. The lack of facilities for the newly hired physical education teachers, lack of also of equipments able to demonstrate and teach the students in a proper way. Equipments that are important to the newly hired teachers in their first year of teaching. Delivering lectures in such a way that students can easily grasp them. Finding a solution that it will help the teacher to explain further the lessons while we are in the pandemic. Then, assuring the proper teaching tactics are used to increase the students' involvement in class. So the students' participation in need in class and also the interest of each students. Interest of the students in their class. Table 3, themes and core ideas of newly hired physical education teachers and sensible suggestions that they can have to better prepare teacher education students in the real world of teaching. So the first theme is instill a fervent commitment to the teaching profession. You just really need to to accept, love your passion and your job. Follow what you want as well as what your heart wants. Train pre-service teachers to create effective instructional materials that support students' learning, providing the needs and materials of the teachers so that the teachers can improve and teach well. The importance of proper training for teachers to increase the learning and the new teachers ahead. Expose pre-service teachers to activities that will help them develop more effective teaching practices. Study the teaching practice or strategies that so that you can handle different types of students and better learn different techniques so that your students can learn more easily. Conclusion, the study concludes that newly hired physical education teachers face challenges such as dealing with attitudes of their students and co-teachers, a lack of equipment and facilities, and difficulties in delivering lessons to their students due to the pandemic. The study also concludes that physical education is essential, which is why in this pandemic, teachers are going above and beyond to prepare and deliver learning materials to the students. The study also concludes that the experiences they like the most as a newly hired physical education teachers must find a way to teach their students even we are experiencing a pandemic, and also using online platforms for teaching the students in the new mode of learning is the best way to deliver their lessons. The study concludes that the problems and challenges of the newly hired physical education teachers experiencing are difficulties in adjusting to the behaviors and attitudes of the students and senior colleagues. The study also concludes that as a newly hired physical education teachers must give some sensible suggestions they can have to better prepare teacher education students in the real world of teaching. Recommendations. Based on findings, summary, and conclusions of the research study, the following are hereby recommended that undergraduate teacher education provides most includes topic as to adjust with behavioral differences in the workplace. This is to address the issue on the difficulties of newly hired physical education teacher on dealing with the students and their senior colleagues' attitude. The Department of Education also must provide some equipments and materials for the newly hired teachers to improve their teaching in their subject. The newly hired teachers must receive proper training also and seminars on how to improve their teaching as well as how to deal with the students, especially now that we are dealing with pandemic. The Department of Education also must protect students and teachers from undue stress and worry. The school may have established standards for conducting modular and online class for the newly hired teachers to measure the capabilities of their students to take an action on their problem. The Department of Education may provide more training and support also for the professional growth of newly hired physical education teacher, particularly in those rural areas. Students could be given the same materials to familiarize themselves with the infrastructure required for remote learning, such as learning management system. And that is all my presentation. I hope you enjoy. Thank you.